thank you guys for showing up this weekend. Another blessed and beautiful weekend. It's beautiful outside. It's almost close to Thanksgiving. We hope you guys got all your stuff ready. But we got a great show for you this weekend. I'm gonna let the wife hit you up and let you know what's happening on Lights, Camera, Action.
Let's talk. Hey, you know who this is. I'm your girl, Demi, and this is your boy.
Chris, you know what I'm saying?
And we have a special guest for you today. This person is an entrepreneur. She is an actress and an acting coach.
Oh, yeah.
We would love to introduce you to this fabulous lady. Her name is Michele Nichols.
Nico! Woo! Come on in, Miss Lady, and grace us with your presence. Yes, ma'am. So, how are we doing today?
I'm great. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
it is.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, we're going to just start out with some simple general questions.
Okay.
Where you from, Miss Lady?
I
Where were
am.
you born and raised first?
I was born and raised in Augusta, Georgia, pretty
Okay.
much my entire life.
Roger
Yeah.
that. Roger that. Roger that. And you live now?
I live in a small town outside of Somerville, so Charleston area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome.
So, what brought you to this area?
My husband's family is from here, and my husband's from here originally. He's from Somerville, and he had the opportunity to switch branches of the military, switch in the guard. And
Thank you for his service.
Yes,
Oh,
thank you.
I will let him know. Thank you for the support, and you, both of you as well, for your service.
Roger.
Thank you.
Yeah, we had the opportunity. It was either going to be Georgia or here, and it ended up being here. So, yeah.
That's
Roger that.
awesome. I remember when I was overseas, they said you had a choice between Charleston, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Wyoming. I was like, Charleston. So Charleston it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's awesome.
We were stationed in North Dakota and Wyoming, actually. So
Oh,
I have
wow.
very specific experience with that.
Yeah.
How was it there?
Cold. Wyoming's beautiful, though.
Oh,
It's
I could
very beautiful.
imagine.
It's gorgeous.
I could imagine. Just open land.
Yes.
Just, oh, my God.
Like, oh, it's 15-minute traffic. That's it. To just get there's no one lives in Wyoming. It's the least populated state in the United
Oh,
States.
wow.
So there's something about peace and quiet.
Okay. Guess we're going to Wyoming, baby.
Yeah, just go for a trip.
Well,
yeah.
we
Roger
might
that.
have
Go to a dude ranch.
I
Roger
think
that.
that's where our son is getting stationed at. He's in the Air Force, and I believe he may be going
F.E.
to
Warren?
Wyoming. Probably so.
Yeah, Cheyenne. That's where we were.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
No, it's
cyber intelligent, so
cool.
we'll
Yeah.
find out. We'll
That's
find
interesting.
Real soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
26th, he'll be back in the States. And then from there, I don't know how long his leave is
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and when he has to get to his assignment. But yeah, he did the England thing. Now he's back in. Now he's back in Conus.
Yep.
So, But yeah, we thank you. We thank your husband
Yeah.
for doing
Appreciate
that.
it.
That is awesome. Why didn't you join the military? May I ask that?
My mom actually mentioned it because my mom was ROTC Navy,
Okay.
and she ended up not joining either. But it happens. Not everyone joins. But she actually ended up getting like a 2-year degree at a tech, and so she didn't end up going that route. But she did give me the idea of like going into like the Air Force band.
Okay. Yeah.
So I could sing in it. And so I did think about it. And then I fell in love with the man in uniform and went, you know what? I've heard that this can be really tricky if you're both active duty.
It can.
Because you can
be
end up sometimes.
two different spots.
Yeah.
Different spots.
So I just was like, it was like one of those fleeting ideas like, that's an idea. No, I think I'll just not do that. But thanks, Mom. Like it's there. It's an idea.
Roger
but
that.
and it's cool. Like I've been to the Pops concerts and the Air Force, like Tops and Blues and stuff like that. And they're so talented. I'm like,
yeah.
it would.
Yes, it is.
They're
Yes, it is.
insanely talented.
It is.
But yeah,
That's interesting though that you sing.
yeah,
Roger that.
yeah.
How long you been singing? All your life?
All my life, yeah. It was what I did before I ever was in a film. I was always doing music and classically trained, and
Oh wow.
What?
done. Yeah, yeah. That
What?
was yeah. My first basically part of my career was all stage work
Oh wow.
That is
and
awesome.
musical theater and opera, and then I've had bands and stuff too. And
Oh wow.
You
that kind
still
of thing.
into it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I still sing with bands. I'll hop in and sing with them. And I don't have my own band here. That would be that's like kind of like on my
That's on
list
there.
of like what I want to do. Yeah, I used to be a touring musician. I used to tour a lot
Oh
too.
wow.
And then, yeah, I got to a point where I became like the old lady on tour. I don't know. Well, you know what I mean? Like you get to your late 20s and you just start getting tired of living on a bus.
I feel you.
yeah.
I understand.
And then I got married and I was like, you know what? There's this other part of me. I've always loved film,
Right.
and let's explore that. And then I can still sing locally and have a band and that kind of thing, and record music and release it on Spotify and stuff like that too. It's just the touring
is
part that I was like, you know what? Let's try something different.
That is
Like,
awesome.
Yeah.
The things you find out about people that you never know.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
so
it. And you
awesome.
do opera, you said, or you did?
I did, yeah.
Oh wow,
So-
that is amazing.
How is that? The preparation, is that intimidating?
You know what? I think everyone who sings should have classical training, because
understand
it teaches you how to train your diaphragm and to train your body to sing properly, so you can sing for years and years and years. I mean,
Do
there's
you train people to
for
sing?
voice, I can maybe do. I maybe would be comfortably qualified to start with like newer singers, and I've had vocal students before who are a little bit newer. But at a certain point, I'm going to hand them off.
Oh yeah.
Because that's just, I'm not a vocal pedagogist. But my old one of my music professors in college is actually at College of Charleston now, and so if people let me know like, oh, I need one-on-one lessons, I'm like, go to Tamara Harper. Like, she's
Okay.
amazing. Yeah, she's so good. And just, if you sing, getting that kind of training, or if you act, getting that kind of training, so you can do stage work, so you know how to scream properly. So if you're on set a lot, or you've got a lot of dialogue, you're not going to end up just destroying your vocal cords.
right,
Yeah,
right.
there's a lot of things about vocal health, about how we speak or how we sing, that if you're not training your body right, it can just destroy it over time.
Oh
So,
wow. I
yeah.
didn't know
Well,
that.
yeah, we have to sit down and talk with you a little bit
Yeah,
further.
absolutely.
That's what's up.
I like that. I like that. So for your singing, have you done like voiceover work because of your vocals
Yeah,
and all that?
I love voiceover. It's so much fun.
I would love to do
Yeah,
that.
we've never had the opportunity to that. Yeah, we put in for it, but
And we're speaking it. We're going to get some voiceover. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
and
just
some
put
training.
get some training, put a demo reel together, and then see what happens. And some work they require like things like Source Connect or an ability.
Yep.
Yeah, so having the ability to log in and connect with somebody who's in another location remotely can help you.
Right.
But you can also, if you don't have that, because I currently don't have it, I can go to a local studio
Okay.
Gotcha.
and then just connect
They
through
could do
them.
that. Right.
So yeah, and there's some projects where it's just like, oh, here's the format we need.
Right.
Here's what you need to turn it in as. Here's your deadline, and then you just reverse engineer that. Be like, okay, how long is this ebook going to take, or how long is this, just quick 2-minute thing going to take, or just little something for like a promo for a radio station that's going to take me like 15 minutes,
Right.
but an ebook is going to take hours.
Wow,
So you just kind of figure out how much time do I have to coordinate with this, and then also think about things like vocal health.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you. Comes in twos.
Thank you both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do that with the UGC. I just was I did a UGC for Golf Clash.
Cool.
It's a online game, and yeah, I understand now that world as far as what you have to do, the deliverables, how you have to deliver them.
Yep.
it's something a little bit different than just doing an audition.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's a different skill level.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't mind it now that I understand it.
Yeah.
You know, because at first it was like they would tell me this is what we need. You know, and they're from England. And, you know, they hit me up, you know, we do, you know, our little meetings and whatever. Oh, yeah, this is what we need, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. I go by what you told me.
Right.
Send it to them. Oh, no, we don't want that like that. This is how we want it, blah, blah, blah. Oh, why you just didn't tell me that the first time? But once I've got the hang of it, the knack of it, I don't mind it now. You know, it's pretty good.
Cool. For your singing, have you had to sing for voiceovers or acting?
So I have, for voiceover work, it's mostly been just spoken. So
Gotcha.
I did a voiceover for a character called Sandy in this like short horror film called Her Lips Are Mine. And it's really, you can watch it on Crypt TV. And we went to Dragon Con and won there, which was really exciting.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, it was the kind of thing where we recorded it in the director's apartment who had this whole setup. And he had to basically, like, 'cause they were living in an apartment complex, he had to, like, tell his neighbor, okay, like, if you hear blood curdling screaming, do not call the cops. It's fine, you know, like, and so he was just like, let her rip. And I was just like, and auditioning was quite fun because I had to do the same thing. And I'm
Right.
just like,
Oh, wow.
neighbors, I'm fine. But yeah, I've done that. And then I've done various like ADR and looping and things like that. So when people have needed other voices to kind of come in to be creepy or to scream or
wow.
to be an audience, I've done some of that too, which is just fun and, you know, interesting and great way to use your skill to pay the bills. And then I did a Halo Reach machinima kind of thing. And it was like, and I was doing like an AI kind of voice. So I spoke in a particular vernacular in a kind of robotic way. And then they kind of filtered it and made it more robotic. And I was like, okay, that sounds dope.
Wow.
That sounds very cool. So I've done some things like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then of course I've done commercial voiceover, which are like basically just whatever a commercial is. I've also done versions of it where it was the radio spot of the same commercial. So sometimes it was like the same or very similar copy that I did from the commercial just for the radio, which is just slightly different. You know, you're going to have to up your animation a little bit in order for it to come across because, you know, you're hitting people just through their ears instead of also through their eyes. So they'll make different suggestions for how I, you know, maybe say a line or how I come across. That's a little different than when it's just on camera.
Right.
So instead of just yanking, they could have just yanked my my audio from the camera one, but I'm very happy that they paid me.
Right.
And they didn't do that, and they didn't include that as like because they can include that in the usage, you know, every edit, pull, this, that, the other thing, and instead that they paid me separately for all the things that they needed, which is what you want, you know.
Yeah.
That is cool.
That's awesome.
Have you ever done a cartoon?
Yeah, so Her Lips Are Mine was animated,
Okay.
but it's not for children.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It's too scary. And then the Halo Reach thing, it was like a machinima thing, so it was almost like a fan film. It was years ago, and it was the first time I'd ever done voiceover, so I was just like happy to be here. Yeah, so I would love to do like I've auditioned for several bigger ones.
You gonna get it.
Yeah, eventually.
You gonna get them.
Yeah, you keep going. You
Yep.
keep going and
And
doing
you got
it.
to
And
speak it in the atmosphere.
yeah, exactly. No, I fully believe that. It's
Yeah.
just yeah.
Do you find voiceover work to be hard
Oh,
or challenging?
I think everything is challenging in its own way. It's different.
Right.
So it comes with it's a different skill set. You don't have somebody in the room with you to work off of. You don't have that feed of another person, you know, necessarily. At least with everything I've done, they haven't been in the room.
Right.
So I've had to just react to nothing.
Right.
Or and then things we don't think about when we're on camera as an actor is like how we breathe, how we inhale, the sounds that we make if somebody like grabs us, punches us, things like that.
Right.
And those are things you have to think about when you're doing voiceover in a way like, oh, I'm not going to be
Scene.
acting this out.
Right.
So I'm not going to naturally be doing this. So I'm running through the woods. How would I breathe if I'm running through the woods? I'm not on a treadmill right now. You know, what am I going to do? And so you kind of create maybe the physicality enough that you can in a booth.
Right.
And then just think about and practice those things at home so you know what it naturally sounds like so you can do that. And so it's just a different set of skills and a different way to think.
Roger that.
I like
Do you
that.
have your own setup?
I do. I mean, it's just a very simple kind of like
Stand and a
stand with a pop mic
Right.
and like I have a Yeti and a Rode, and then I use Audacity.
Okay.
It's super simple to use, and I can format it really easily. Because I'm not an engineer. Like I'm not, I'm just an actor that's like, I need more ways to make money and let's use this voice that I have to do things
Right.
because I've learned, I have some skill there.
Right.
And so I found that to be really easy to use for me to be able to get things done quickly. And I don't feel like I need an engineer or my husband who sometimes comes in as tech support for me.
Right.
But yeah, that's been good. And then, the filter on my mic, and
right.
I'm usually in a room that, I go in my closet sometimes and I'll have like all the blankets up and it's,
Right.
that kind of thing. And then just simple like egg crate kind of things for sound absorption.
That's
that kind of thing.
exactly. That's what I was going to do, and I was trying to find someone that does voice and see how they had their setup because, like you say, I've seen the stands and it had the little egg crate behind it
Yep.
on the microphone. Is that something good? I don't know. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
I mean, before I had those, I had blankets in a closet.
Right.
You start where you start, and then you can invest more into like the fancier things as you're able to.
Right.
And then I've also seen something where somebody, they were in like a garage kind of situation where I've done soundtrack work for different films, and we went in there and we recorded for that for a movie called Little Cooper. And I did vocals for Fleming Moore for that. He's a folk singer, and he lives around here, actually. Okay. And he's great. He invited me on to do that. And when we recorded in this like garage space, they had these big canvases that they were like art canvases. I think they just built them themselves just out of wood, and then they stretched fabric around it. And then that's what they used. I was like, oh, that's really clever. So there's all kinds of ways. I mean, I'm sure there's a YouTube channel for everything.
Yeah. Lord Jesus, you can build the world. YouTube.
Where did you get your training from for the voiceover?
For voiceover, honestly, I really haven't done a lot of specific training. I probably should, because I'd probably even get a lot better.
Right.
But a lot of the vocal training I have was from music.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I have a 4-year degree in music, and I have all those years of that and all the diction classes I had to take. And part of my studio class was going into like a recording studio and learning how that functions and how to do that. And so getting that experience on that level, and then as a vocalist going into like sessions and like doing backup for different artists and stuff, I learned kind of how the process worked.
Right.
And then other than that, it was just, can I have the inflection, have the diction, and everything that people are looking for this particular project? When it comes to voices, I'm not at the point where I'm doing like, I have voices, sure,
I understand.
but it's not at the point where I'm like this like wonderful voiceover artist that does lots of these incredible characters. That's definitely something I want to work on.
Right. I was actually talking to a lady on set yesterday, and she was talking that she had given her one of her buddies. He's not in vocal, not in acting, but he's just a character.
Yeah.
And she knows Peter Bergman,
Okay.
family friend.
Yeah.
So she gives Peter Bergman his audition, and he got it booked just right then and there. The guy was on set, directing the scene, had 5 minutes, sent it to another gentleman that they knew, which was sitting next to Mr. Bergman. And next thing you know, hey, is he there beside you? Yeah, play it for him. Played it for him. Next thing you know, the guy's got the job.
That's awesome.
I know people who are just have these incredible ears, and then they just train themselves and they learn how to do different voices, and then there are people with remarkable talent.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is. Yes, it is.
And then with me, I just was in a different direction, but I love doing voices and I like accents a lot. I can pick up on nuances and accents, so that's definitely something I want to lean more into. Yeah,
Okay, like
definitely.
British?
That would be fun.
Like a
Oh yeah,
British
like I love different types of accents in British, and I did a German one the other day for an audition. I did an Australian one, and I like watching and then listening to the nuances of their voices and figuring out like what makes their voice sound that way.
Right.
And I like that. I have incredible just like kudos for people who can do all these characters though. I've heard some insane voiceover artists that are so good at doing characters, and I'm just like, oh, that's so good. I want to get better at that.
Right.
Yeah.
And look, you will.
Yeah,
You definitely
exactly.
will. You definitely will. Can you do one of your voiceovers? I mean, do like one of the voices for the voiceover character that you might love or something?
Like a character I've done, or
Yeah.
I do a lot of commercial voiceovers. So I remember the other day I had to audition for something where it was like, you know, I can't remember. Like I don't want to say the copy because it's copyrighted.
Right.
But it was something along the line. Okay, so like I've done stuff for like Lori Life and Health. I've done stuff for them before, and a lot of the lines were like, "Thanks to Lori Life and Health, my family is covered." You know, just where
I
you
got you.
are in flight. It's like not a normal. It's almost like people are gonna think this is AI. You know, yeah. So I definitely have the kind of like commercial voice that I use
You
for
do.
different things. And then like I can lower it if I need to talk in a lower timbre of my voice, and then like higher it and raise it high if I need to be really, really, really excited about something that's going on and we have a sale going on at, you know, this kind of thing. And so I kind of change it based on
awesome.
what their needs are. But yeah,
That's
like,
so
I
awesome.
love it. I love it.
Do you like voiceover work more than just regular acting?
I like regular acting better.
Okay.
Yeah. I get to use my whole self.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand.
So, growing up as a kid, was this something you ever thought that you wanted to do, or was it something different in mind that you had that you wanted to do when you grew up?
Like acting and singing and stuff. I've always known I wanted to do it.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember wanting anything else.
Oh wow.
It's just was something that was just, I came out, was just part of me.
I got you.
And my parents told me, yep, you've just always wanted to do this. And I have memories as early as about 4 of like watching Audrey Hepburn movies and going, wow, they pay her to do this? Like you can do this as a job?
Right.
Like, and learning that and going, oh yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's I guess that's how I was as a kid growing up. You know, I watched and like, oh my God, you get paid to do that. That is the coolest thing. But then I was too afraid to show the world me.
Yeah.
I could do it in the house.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh yes, get 2 people. No. But it wasn't until I met this lady that all of those childhood dreams and stuff was reimagined and woke up, and it says, do them. And she says, do them.
Yep.
And that right there, I stepped out on faith just by her words. And next thing you know, I'm in this whole nother genre of life. And it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I get it. I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I was
act-
like that as a kid because to get away from all the stuff that was going on in my life when I was younger, I would immerse myself into television shows and different things, and I want to do that. But then getting disappointed when people tell you can't do that. So because that's stuck in my mind for so long, it took me a while to actually step out on faith and be like, hey, I'm going to do that. And then I met my match when I met him because he did spoken word and everything. That's what he started off with. And then he was like, well, do you want to act? After we discussed it, we're like, yeah. You want to go to school for filmmaking? Sure. So, yeah, it fall into place. And this is a good partner right here. He's so encouraging and everything.
Right.
I bet your spouse is very encouraging. and
Oh, he
supportive.
is.
Yeah, you got to
He's-
have that.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, especially in this line, in our line of business, the more support you have from the place that you call home is awesome.
Yeah.
Because it gives you, it takes that, you already got a load on you. from I got to act, I got to do this, I got to get all this stuff, and I got to make sure that I'm perfect for this because I want to get this role.
Right.
So having someone positive that understands your process, understands all of the frustration and heartache that we as actors and actresses go through, it's wonderful to have. So kudos to your husband.
Yeah, he's great. When he got out of active for a little bit and he was guard and he had an opportunity to go and use his GI Bill and he had to take like 12 hours of humanities and he actually went and took a theater class.
Oh, wow.
And he learned some acting and he's got some natural talent.
Right.
He's
Does he like
good.
to act?
Yeah, it's fun for him. He was like, I have no time. But he's like, when he retires, he's like, you know what, I might start doing some stuff when I'm retired. I was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
And like he reads for me on some of my auditions.
Right.
That's
Like some of them
awesome.
I'll go to a guy and I'll like tape it. Other ones I'll go to friends and just like depending on like, okay, what do I think is the best here? But like a couple of them I've auditioned for like military roles or cop roles or roles where I was like a military spouse. Yeah, dirt. And so I'm like, okay, well, obviously I'm gonna
Right.
with my husband. Yeah, absolutely. Like the stuff that he's taught me and over the years have really helped. And a lot of these roles that I've booked is cops and military and medics and stuff
Right.
like that. I mean, a lot of the stuff he's taught me, I was like, okay, can you teach me how would you do this? How would you approach this person? How would you knock on the door and you think somebody who's at large would be here? And I would ask him questions and just
Right.
kind of see how he does things. And it's been very cool.
That is so
Yeah.
awesome.
What is his job? I'm sorry, baby.
Oh, you good.
He's a cop.
He's okay. Roger
In the
that.
middle,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I know some cops. I know
Yeah.
some cops. I know some cops.
Okay, that is so cool. I like it when you have those spouses or somebody in your life that actually supports you. Is there anyone in your life besides your husband when you were growing up was a mentor in your life that you were like, oh my gosh, this person is that person?
My uncle and my grandparents were great. My grandparents at first were very much like, oh, it's not practical, that kind of thing.
Right.
But I sang at their 50th wedding anniversary and it was like 8th grade.
And it was
And they came up to me and they said, never mind, we'll pay for voice lessons.
oh wow,
We'll help out where we can.
that is awesome.
Because my family absolutely, could not do that. And so they stepped in some of those areas and were very, very supportive. And like, I just lost my grandpa this year.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
I'm sorry to hear.
And I remember it was really, it's the last project I was working on that was in his area. So I actually got to like stay with him and see him and stuff like that while I was filming was like a zombie show. And he's like, what are you working on right now? I'm like having to tell like a 96-year-old man, like, well, it's a zombie show. It's a post-apocalyptic show with zombies. And he goes, it's a job.
Love it.
And
Love
I was
it.
like, not his cup of tea. I was like, it's fine. It was great. So he's, he always like, my family also keeps me from getting too, I guess we can get very inward with this job.
I got you.
So
And
they
it
keep
can-
you grounded.
Yeah, they keep me grounded.
Totally.
Yeah. And because you can get too much in your head and that can
Totally.
be, both like, okay, this person's like negative or freaking out all the time about this, or you can get super in your head, like thinking like, oh, well, I got this. And
Yes.
you want a good, healthy
Yes, you
kind of
want a good-
mixture of things,
I
and-
believe I am with
Yeah.
that. I believe I am with that. As far as, don't get me wrong, there are times when I do beat myself up
Sure.
over something. But after the beat up, I look back at everything that I've done and say, why am I doing that?
Right.
Why are you beating yourself up just because you didn't get one particular job or
Right.
two particular jobs?
Right.
Because this job, our line of work is a job of opinions at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can be the best actress in the world. If you don't have the look, be like, nah, but she killed it. Nah, well, yeah, but I'm looking for somebody else. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's somebody's opinion.
And sometimes they don't know what they want.
They don't.
Yeah,
They
true.
don't. And they truly don't. You know, and because I've seen so many people, oh, yeah, and they push people aside. Okay, well, I'll let you go. And they get somebody else. And next thing you know, that person didn't do what the other person can do
Right.
because you were too quick to judge or too quick to come to this resolution, I guess it is. You know, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it's opinions you can't control. So you can only control, okay, this is what I bring into it. This
Right.
is the thing these are things that are unique to me.
Right.
And no one is going to read a scene exactly the same.
No.
There might be a general similarity in some people, and
Right.
maybe it's the one that reads it entirely different, or maybe it's it's the one that reads it exactly like the director thought in his head, and
Right.
and eventually even has to get to the director, and that's usually if it's an indie. But it's like when it's a bigger project, I mean, it goes through the casting director, and then it goes to the producers, and then it goes to either the brand, the studio, or the network.
Right.
Like, that's a lot of hands and a
That's-
lot of people that have to okay something.
Right.
Like, you can't control any of that.
Right.
So you just have to keep going and improve your materials are what you can control. Your process is what you can control, and understanding yourself and kind of how you come across naturally can kind of help it, like what other people see you as. They call it your essence.
Right.
And I hate the word branding so much. I'm just like, I'm a person. I'm not a
Not an item.
I'm not a water bottle or something. But having the idea of what your essence is, what you bring into each thing, that is the through line that makes you different than other people.
Right,
I
right,
think
right.
knowing yourself is very helpful in the industry. Otherwise,
is.
you can lose it
It
very
is.
quickly.
It is.
Yeah, when you said branding, well, when you're in the military, they say you're government property. So we're like, I don't know about that, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. When I first started, I didn't understand my brand. I didn't know where I fit in this thing. I was just, I'll do it all, and I still will to a certain degree.
Sure.
But I didn't understand me.
Yeah.
That was the thing. I could do something, but didn't understand why I did it.
Right.
You know, and they'd be like, "Oh, that was great." You know, what? Tell us what you did. And it's like, I just did it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do nothing. But understanding acting, you have to understand what you're doing. You have to, like you say, if you don't understand yourself, you're gonna confuse yourself in this, and you're gonna try to find something that it's not you, and it's not gonna be
Right.
as authentic as it should be.
Yeah, you're going to get so tied to what's written in that breakdown and so tied to trying to convince the casting director, like, pick me, and trying to be what you think that they want you to be or whatever. It's like, no, at the end of the day, they want to see you.
Right.
They picked you to come in.
Right.
What are you? How are you different?
Right.
And that's easier said than done. But I think a lot of times, we need to there's so many classes that people take for things. And I think that at the end of the day, it's probably better just to focus on being a really good actor.
Right.
And understanding your process, understanding how to go through a script and how to read it and understand it and understand the characters and your relationships with people. And then understanding like the mindset of where you need to get in your headspace to where you can go on set and let go.
Right.
And because like you don't want to have every single line, whether it's an audition or on set, like I'm going to say it exactly like this, because you don't know at the end of the day what the other actor's going to do.
Right.
And so it might not work.
Right.
So you can come in with the idea of knowing your lines, understanding the character, but not be so narrowly, so rehearsed that you're just, I'm going to say it this way.
Right.
And you have to be able to they call it the free fall,
Right.
and be present in the moment and be open to listening and reacting authentically to what the other person does, or being able to pivot and take direction well.
Right.
And
That's
a lot
what
of
I like
times-
about Meisner.
Yeah.
Meisner does that. We are currently training through Meisner, and that was something when I walked into Meisner, because when I first came into acting, we were trained off of Adler.
Okay.
and you got to hit a certain point. Boom, boom, boom. You hit all these points, and it's
Yep.
like, okay, cool, no problem. I can do that.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I was on set, if this person didn't hit that same point that made me study to hit that point, it confused me for a minute. Don't get me wrong, I would react naturally and speak, but I didn't know what to do. You know, and I was like,
Right.
I don't know what to do with this. When we went to Meisner is the kind of like the opposite. It's I need you to be active and live and react now, not what you did 6 weeks ago,
Right.
not what you learned when you first read this thing. Right now, in the moment, go for it. You know what I'm saying? I like that. That's what I like about
Yeah.
it. That's the one thing I like about it. So,
What training method has worked for you?
I mix things. So my background was first Stanislavski
Right.
and a lot of the opera, and a lot of it was physicality, and then it was also a lot of it was past experiences in order to emotionally connect with the character that you have. And I like that, especially when I'm going through the script and I'm figuring out the character psychologically, being able to find a through line, even if they're completely different than me, and even if they're making choices I wouldn't make.
Right.
Instead of judging them, going, okay, what do I have from my background that's similar? And I usually will tie that to kind of coming up with kind of the past of the character. And obviously, if there's a beautiful big script, I have some of the past there.
Right.
But sometimes I don't have past things from childhood. Sometimes I don't have that material.
Right.
And so I have to create that. And so if I look at the
do the
rest
same
of the
thing.
script, what can I bring from my past into it to kind of understand the character a little bit better?
Right.
That feels like something I can connect with and I can have some empathy for with that character. But at the same time, when you're on set, practically speaking, you don't want to be like in this horrible, just depressing, awful place. Because
can't pull yourself out.
You can't. Yeah, because that's exhausting, and you just want to be
Yes.
there sitting and like with your snack, like crafty, like don't talk to her. She's full. So I'm like, I can't go full method,
Right.
Like, because I can't do that. Like, I have to be a person
I do
outside
too.
of here.
I can't.
So I mix things in order to be able to do that, because sometimes you're like, okay, I have to cry now, and I don't want to think about this horrible thing.
Right.
So I like music, and I'll have certain things, like certain songs that will trigger certain memories or certain just
Gotcha.
emotions in me. Or I just have certain methods of like relaxing my body, of yawning ahead of time. And so then I can feel very present and in the moment, and I can get rid of everything else. And then in that moment, I am that person.
Right. I feel you.
Yeah.
Instead of having to go to this horrible place in my life that is helpful when I'm going through my script,
Right.
of recognizing and empathizing, but then it's like, I don't want to take that on script, like on set with me necessarily. It's not necessarily going to work to just be a good coworker on set and to be around people, and then to go, and the ability to also like clock out and go
Right.
home and not carry that stuff with you is also important, because
It
your
is.
family don't deserve that.
They don't.
When
Like-
when I was on Manhunt, one of the actors was method acting, and he stayed the same way all the time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Until it was time, and he did what he had to do or whatever. But I can just not just be there and just be like,
Yeah, if I'm an asshole character, that's what when you see this person, from the moment you see them, that's who they are. And it's like, I can't do that to everybody. I don't want to do that to everybody.
Yeah, everybody has their method, their way.
Right. I get
And
it.
I get it.
But I just think that's just a little bit too crazy. It's
It's not my
Cup of
not what
tea.
I would choose for me.
Right.
Yeah. And I have worked with method actors,
Oh, yeah.
and you just kind of learn how to like,
right.
he's just doing his, it's fine.
Yep, let
You
me
just
go
learn
on.
you learn how to work with everybody,
Yep.
right? And so you just learn, okay, like I'm gonna avoid him right now. He's gonna curse at me.
Right.
So it's not personal.
Right.
I'm just gonna go and
Right.
byline that, and we'll be cool after. We'll see each other later at the premiere. It'll be fine. We'll be able to laugh about this. So it's just for me. I just can't. I
Yeah, I
can't do
can't
that.
either. I can't.
And I just learn it's tools for a toolbox. So sometimes I'll use a little Stanislavski. Sometimes Adler's
like that.
great for moments. They're
Right.
great with like beats.
Right.
I feel like that's good for that, where you figure out those moments of like, oh, this character changed, has new information. discovered something. Those are great to recognize those in the script. And then of course, Meisner and stuff is terrific too, because I'm the type of person that I took this personality test that basically said that, like, I'm a person that needs to, basically get into a really good mindset and headspace and trust myself and be present and in the moment. That's the biggest thing that I bring. That's like my energy level that I bring into the room. Otherwise, if I don't get into that space, I'll see it in my auditions and I was like, where I will look like I'm jittery and nervous and all over the place, even if I don't feel like, and I'm like, oh, it's because I didn't ground myself before this audition. Right. So I'm still like, like there's too much of everything else going on besides what just needs to exist in this space, and everything else just needs to go away.
Right.
Because we're all adults and we have lives and stuff that can kind of interfere with our job. And so it's your ability for me to tune that out. And y'all have noticed on set with me, I'm very quiet.
Yes.
Yeah, because when I first met you, I was like, is she mean or anything? But we've grown to love you and
it's
everything
RBF.
like that.
It's just it's my face.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, she's so cool and she does her job so well.
RBF.
Just have that. So yeah, I'm very focused on set because I can't pull everything else into what I'm doing, because I know some people who can snap back and forth really well. And for some things I can. And you have to. I mean, you act and you direct. Like, oh gosh. Like, you have to learn how to do that. That's kudos. Like, but yeah, for me, like, I'm like, nope, this is my space. This is my area. This is my headspace. This is where I am. And I'm fine if somebody interrupts it and talks to me or something like that.
I am too.
But I generally, because I don't want to be a jerk, but I will generally be a lot more my natural self, as I'm actually pretty introverted. Like, I'm going to go home after this, probably have to take a nap.
Don't feel bad. We probably do the same thing.
And it's just, I have only so much energy, so I have learned to conserve it on set. So when I have to do something, because if I have to scream or cry or yell at somebody or, whatever it is, that I've conserved all that energy for that moment to do everything, and I pour everything into it, that I get home and I'm like,
sleep. Yep.
Yeah. Like he said, we will be taking a nap.
Yeah. I know we did a film in Augusta, and I had to play, my daughter was not my daughter. I found out about it at the wake. She played my wife. She was dead, and now she writes this letter to me, and I'm reading it at the wake, and I find out that my daughter's not my daughter right then and there, and the person that's the father is sitting on the front row, and he's like sucking his teeth in real life when we were shooting it. And it just, oh my God, it infuriated me on set. And I went over there and
they couldn't it was like hard for the guy to pull them off or whatever. It was just the acting, but he was like, they were like, man, I didn't know you were going to do that. Everybody was like,
because I didn't know what I was going to do. I was
Right.
crying and I'm saying all this, and then this woman gets up and says, oh, no, you didn't, and smacks him like across the face. And I looked at him, and just fury came through me. And I ran over there, and I just started beating him up. And everybody in the set was like, but I wasn't hitting him.
Yeah.
I wasn't hitting him at all, but it was a great scene. It was something that I like to, sometimes I don't want to go too far into a preparation because I don't want to stay stuck in one thing.
Right.
I will go to a certain point
Yep.
and be like, okay, cool, this is the direction I can go, or I can pivot at any moment in this if I need to.
Yeah, I think it's like a psychological game. I took a bunch of psych classes in college because I wanted to, as like my minor, because I wanted to be able to better read a script and to understand how a character ticks. I find that really interesting.
That makes sense.
And understanding like this is the character, this is who they are, and every character I do is completely different.
Right.
Like there's a through line of me. I think you can watch my demo reel and go, yeah, okay, I can see a little Michelle in everything. But every character is different. They're a different being. They have a different origin. They have a different background. They have different memories. And I create something different with them, and it's the idea, and that's really fun, of just understanding the character psychologically enough that you can go, okay, I get her. I get her. So when I'm on set and somebody says something or throws something at me, I know I can instinctively react because I understand her.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like you understand the character of Sergeant Harris.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you got
Oh, I
Sergeant
love-
Harris.
You got her down,
Yeah.
like when you were talking to the other officer, and you were like, "Hold on, don't play with me. I already know what's going on," like that.
Yeah.
I like that look and how you said it. You are we picked the perfect
Aw.
person
We
for
did.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we
oh,
were-
she's fun.
Yeah.
She's such a spark, man. She's just, she doesn't take from anybody. She's just so tough. I
Roger
love
that.
to play tough women, like
yeah.
smart, tough,
So, yeah.
intelligent women. Yeah.
The upcoming episodes, and I don't want to never give anything away.
Sure. No
Because
spoilers.
now it's every character, like I've told everybody on set. I want to start digging deeper into each person's life now.
Yeah.
Because I want to see more of your life.
Yeah.
Outside of the police station. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
I want to see your life. So the ideas and the things that we've been coming up with. Oh my God! Because we know that she's so strong. So the scenarios and the avenues that we have this character going down. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the production. I'm just excited. I'm ready for it. I am so stoked for it because, like she said, we got the right person to do this role. Because when we first saw you do your role, we understood that you understood what the hell you were doing. I can understand. I can watch an actor, and I can understand if you know what you're doing. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I can watch you do it and be like, oh, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. To the most part, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I totally get that.
You know, we all have different levels that we go through, but as far I can watch an actor and be like, okay, yes, they can do what I need them to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Directing the scenes, I'll be looking like, she did that. I like that.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, the way you just know your character and what you're gonna bring. I love it. I feel like, oh, she's a badass. You remind me of like on Chicago. What is it? Chicago PD. Trudy, like that.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
like
I
that.
love that.
And
that's
that's
cool.
that's basically how I came up with her.
Oh yeah.
With your character.
That makes sense.
I love Chicago PD. And I was watching Trudy one day, and I think she had gotten shot or something. And before that happened, I just watched her brashness, her realness. And I was like, that's the type of character we need. We need somebody like that
Yeah.
in there. And she started, when we were doing the audition process, yours came up. There it is. There it is.
I feel like Sergeant Harris is me if I had no filter.
Right.
And how like those moments that I have in life where I let that filter go and I say the thing exactly how I want to say it. And sometimes it's hurtful and I'm like, oh, maybe that wasn't the Christian thing to do. But I feel like, yeah, I love Sergeant Harris. She's so much fun.
Right.
And she's the longest I've spent with a character. Like I've had another recurring role on a different show on CBS, but I got to spend two episodes with that character.
That's
Right.
cool.
It's not enough time.
Right.
I want more.
Right.
You know,
Develop it.
yeah, to develop. Like you've got a small amount of time to develop a character. And then the film work and stuff that I've done, I will hang out with the character for that little amount of time. And then it's like, oh, but you love them.
Right.
And then you just want to keep playing. Like when I was Anna in Killing to Live, I loved her.
Right.
She was so smart and so capable. And she was this medic, in the zombie apocalypse, and and she could just handle herself, and she was just really cool to play these types of people that are doing these things that I don't do in real life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's really fun. Like you kind of like are everything when you're an actor. You get to like play everything, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, I love it.
I
I
would
love it.
love to play like in a zombie movie, and
Yeah.
I've done
I
it
like
twice
to,
now.
Like to go, and then I'd be that badass. I love seeing badass women because I
Yes.
love watching. He can tell you that I watch Blade
Oh.
on there and stuff. The badasses on there, and then I'll watch. What is it, Resident Evil? I like
Yes.
watching her and her fight, and just women just fighting and being the heroes and stuff.
That's fun.
I love it. I do. I do. We have another movie that we wrote years ago. I need to write the screenplay because this was just the hardback that I was writing for the novel. But it's called Mercy, and it's basically about an descendant of
Cleopatra.
it's King Solomon and Queen Sheba,
Oh, interesting.
and the offspring. She, through a series of events, a meteor hits the Earth, and it propels them into a alternate universe, and this is all in Australia.
Cool.
And the main character,
Oh, I'm just hitting you.
he's a scientist, and he basically goes over to Australia because he's involved in this, wants to be involved in this, and through a series of events, he basically meets this lady because of the time warp, a time warp. He basically falls into a time warp, and they fall in love and have a child called Mercy.
Very cool.
And she is basically has powers, and now she's in the 20th century. So I understand, and I always love characters, women, badass women. I always think that is.
It's always super fun. Yeah.
It is. I think it needs to be more. You know.
Just like what was it? Walking Dead, The Walking Dead, the women in there. I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. When they be like Michonne and all of them.
Yeah.
Yes. Be like, wow.
Yeah, Lauren Cohen on that show plays Maggie.
Yeah.
I had somebody hire me on their other zombie project, and they're like, "You remind me of Maggie." I'm like, "Bless you."
I can get vibes of Maggie off of it.
Yeah, she's cool. I like playing complicated women.
I can get that. Yeah.
I like playing women who are smart, women who are strong, but not. It doesn't have to be somebody who's a superhero, because I'm not. And like, I don't think that most women who are strong in this world, men too, have scars, have things that are they've gone through, have things that they struggle with. We all have an Achilles heel. We all have our own issues that we're trying to deal with, our own like worst sides to ourselves that we're constantly battling. And I like complicated, emotionally complicated characters like that, because it's real people.
Right. I understand. I get
Yeah. Like, it's fun. Like, I'm sure it would be so much fun just to play a superhero. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? Like, to
Right.
flip around and all that stuff, and the wire work, and
Oh my
that's
God.
super fun. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
And just for the training, it would be fun, because I like martial arts and stuff. It's
Oh, you
really
do?
it's
Oh.
really fun. And I used to be a gymnast way back in the day, but I was a very average one. I was not going anywhere, but I know a little bit, so it's helpful for like physicality and roles and stuff.
I used to be a gymnast when I was in elementary school.
Yeah. I did it for 7 years, and it was very clear. Michelle, you're doing too much. You're not going to the Olympics. And I was just like, I knew it. I was just like, oh, good. Okay, good. I was just like, no, I have a lack of balance on the balance beam that just was not going to work. And I was just like, no, that was, it kept me active,
Right.
taught me some stuff, very grateful for it. Not my thing, but yeah,
so funny.
like a lot of stunt women have this incredible gymnast background or whatever. And I'm like, I have 7 years, but I'm not putting that on my skill level. Like
Right. Right.
it's not going in my skill section. We're just not going to do that. But yeah, no, I love physicality and roles. It's a lot of fun. I'm working once I get some of my footage back from the show that's in post production right now. I'll have enough for my stunt reel, and that's really
wow.
exciting.
You done any like horseback riding and stuff
Yeah.
like that? You like
I grew
that?
up doing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
so
fun.
You're already good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
that's what I
look,
wanna
you a
do.
jack of all trades.
I've learned a lot of random stuff. I went to Country Acres summer camp growing up, and that was my grandparents, I think, getting rid of me for a little while. Like, you're too much. Like, we need to send you off for a place for a week when I would go and visit them. And they did all the things. They did archery and canoeing, and you got to ride on a horse. And so I learned a little bit of everything.
That's awesome.
And so if it's been a little while,
Right.
but I know the basics and I know how not to get kicked, and that's important, safety.
Right.
And I know the basics, so it's definitely something I want to like take my husband to do because he's never done it. I'm like,
Yeah,
date night idea.
I've never done.
I never
yeah, we've
did
never.
horseback riding.
They're taller than you think. Like you
Oh,
get
I
on
can
it and you're
imagine.
like, oh, this is a lot. If I got thrown off this,
Yeah,
this
you'd
would
hurt.
this would be a bad day.
Yes.
You can brace
yeah.
them. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I would go in there with some pads and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
just have me all helmet. That's why they have those helmets when you're jumping and you're doing jumps. That's why I have those helmets on. It's no joke.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, no, I'm not competitive. I do know people who have competed though. I know a guy who does rodeo for a living, and I'm just like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's just fun.
Right.
Seems
But
like
yeah,
fun.
all the stuff that you get to learn, like the skills and the stuff that you get to learn for film, I think is just, oh, I get to do
Amazing.
this thing today, and now I get to do this stunt today, or I get to
Right.
do,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's cool. Yeah. I
Yeah.
started doing jujitsu in my mid 30s because I thought that was fun to start that in mid 30s.
What I did, when he was asking me, did I do that? I did Hapkido
Okay.
and Taekwondo.
Okay.
Yeah, that was when I was stationed in England.
Cool.
Both my son and I, well, our son and we got a degree in black belt degree.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not a black belt.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I started late 30s is when I started, and I was like, well, this is fine. It's Brazilian jiu-jitsu
Right.
Oh wow.
because I'd done capoeira as a kid,
Right.
and
Capoeira,
so I
yeah.
had standing game, but had no ground game. As soon as you
Okay.
get me on the ground, I'm done.
I got you.
And unfortunately, when it comes to like women's self-defense, that's a pretty important factor.
Right.
And so they teach the classes kind of around that, around like self-defense and that kind of protection for yourself. And they
You
make
in
it
the class now?
very practical. I took some time off. There is a Gracie location here though.
For real?
So yeah, there is. So there was one in Columbia at Carter's Academy, and
wow.
Sensei John Carter, he's amazing. And I did it there, and then we moved. And to be honest, yeah, I haven't really done. I've done like my husband and I do it together, so
that's
we'll still
cool.
practice at home and stuff. And we have like a space where we've dedicated to that. That we have this whole space where it's like we can grapple here. I'm like,
That's
that's
cool.
us. But yeah, getting back into class is definitely something I'm wanting to do, but I don't know how far I get. Like, I'm pretty late in the game to get a black belt.
No, you never know.
You never know.
You
but
never know, because like
but
you said,
it's-
you started things late. For us, we started acting late when we
Yeah.
actually got up the courage and gumption to actually do it. We started late, and there's a lot of actors that have started late.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Morgan Freeman, Samuel L. Jackson, a lot of them. Even the lady from off of Panther, the movie, the older lady, she had just started, and she's like she was in her 70s or 80s or something like that. I'm not sure.
I mean, yeah, and a lot of actors do it for a long time, and maybe they're struggling, or maybe they're even making a little bit of income, but they're not like, because I make a living doing this, but nobody knows who I am unless they've seen something I'm in.
Trust me, same way.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh yeah, that show or that episode, or oh yeah, you're the lady from that thing. Yeah, I remember you playing that reporter, and okay, cool. And they usually have to like jog their memory for them to even know. But yeah, you can be doing that, and that's most actors are not celebrities.
Right.
Like that's less than 1%. There's
Right.
tons of actors out there who do make a living,
But you never know.
but you don't really
Right.
know them, or maybe you recognize them, or maybe that kind of thing. And you know, and it's just the kind of thing that I can't control that part of things. I can just control, okay, I figured out a way to make a living. Cool.
Right.
Let's keep going with what works. And then let's also, I think the hardest thing too is like knowing when you're ready for more.
Right. Okay.
Like
Yeah,
when
I
you're
get that.
ready for, okay, I've done a lot of, there was a running joke about how many under 5 line roles I had. He was like, like one of my photographers were like, you're like the queen of under 5 lines. I'm like, yes, I know. I had like 6. And then I was like, okay. And then I got a recurring, and it was still like mostly like stunt work with the recurring, which is fun.
Okay.
But, and then having something like the character reel I'm going to be putting together for Sergeant Harris, and having 5 episodes with somebody. And now with more, with showing, hey, you know, I can do more. Or now getting to a point where I guess it kind of sometimes organically happens, where I was able to do a movie with Dean Cain actually, and I'm in 3 scenes. I'm like, okay, we're getting past it.
Right.
And it's kind of funny how you have these goals to like, I'm going to do this. And I think that's the only thing that you can say is I'm going to do this thing.
Right.
And then just functionally just figure out, okay, how do I maybe train, or how do I do this? But at the end of the day, like, you can't control whether you get it or not. Like, you can have that kind of out there, like, this is my goal. I want to move past, I want to get past a scene, and I want to do more scenes. Now it's like, okay, now I'm in 4 scenes. Now I'm in with a character that's, you know, the audience is going to get to spend with so far like 5 episodes that I've filmed. But then it's like, okay, we all want, you know, more meatier. We want to stay with characters, and it's putting yourself out there. That now I've like got the opportunity. I've auditioned for like a lead role in a SAG film, and it was a SAG lower budget.
Right.
And the girl that I lost to has way more credits than me, so I'm like, that's fair.
Right,
That's
right,
fair.
right.
But I got to audition for it.
Right,
I got to
That's a
be
win.
like, that's
That is-
huge.
that
If
is a
they didn't
win.
think I was ready at all for it, like,
You wouldn't have got it.
yeah, a casting director is not like, I think I'm going to waste my time today. Like, no.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and I've auditioned for that casting director before, so it was like, okay, they know my vibe, they know what I bring in, and I see who they went for, and we have actually the same haircut, we're the same build, a lot of the similarities. She has a different hair color than me. Okay, I don't think you want me as a blonde. I don't know, but she's got way more credits. And I was like, Psh, yeah, okay,
Right.
But just
I get
because
it.
you got more credits don't mean anything. Because there's some actors out there that are not, I mean, you know who they are, but they're not as popular. Like, I've seen some popular actors that have like 300, 400 films. It's like, really? You just be doing films just to do them, I guess?
There's a lot of, yeah, I see a lot of actors and a lot of stuff, and I'm just like, they do everything. Does their family ever see them?
It's
That's
like
exhausting.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
He does a lot of movies. You know what?
Dolph Lundgren. Oh, gosh. What is it? What's his name?
There's a lot of, yeah, I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
you, yeah, I auditioned for a movie with him, actually.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
dope.
I did not get it.
That's dope, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. Like, he's such a legend. Like, you wouldn't
Yeah.
want to work with either
Yeah.
of them.
I'd work
But
with
there's
all of
so
them.
many. Oh yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. I was like, that's a good problem to have.
Great problem, man.
To have like, there's some actors who are like, I only do 1 movie a year because they want to like raise their kids and all that stuff. I'm like,
Right.
and then there's ones that I'm seeing that are doing like back to back projects, and I'm like, take a break.
Right.
You're
like-
gonna be tired.
That's like right now. I have one that I'm scheduled for in March. It's full feature. It's in North Carolina, and then I got another audition for another one that's going to be in January,
Yep.
and it's like,
When it rains, it pours.
yeah, it's like, should I do it? You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is the problem that I have. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
it's a good
That's a good
problem.
It's a great
I mean, it's
problem.
always a great problem. Like, I'll work with that. Like, when I'm doing acting coaching, sometimes people will just have an acting coaching session. I'm like, okay, and they'll have like a little thing where they will fill it out, and then they'll just say on here like, I just need some advice. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're not going over a scene. You just want some advice. Okay,
Right.
cool. And sometimes I will get questions about like, well, I'm not getting anywhere, or I'm not getting enough auditions, or okay. And I'm just like, okay, let's ask some qualifying questions. And there's so many actors that I've bumped into that have been like, well, I'm getting the auditions, but I'm not doing them. Like, why aren't you doing them?
Wow.
Why aren't you not doing the,
Right.
well, it's like a on or about dates or 6 weeks. That doesn't mean your character's there for 6 weeks.
Right.
What is your, and there are people who will be like, well, I'm not going to be available for like a week out of the 6 weeks of the filming. And I'm like, well, audition anyway. You don't know.
You don't know what
you
the
don't know
schedule
what
is.
the schedule's
Right.
going to be. It's
And
better. It's better to get all the way to the point, and I've worked with actors like this before who get all the way to the point of filming, and then the one day that they're filming that part or whatever, and it's their like first SAG thing or something, they have an immovable conflict.
Right.
Like they cannot move it, and it doesn't work out. And I literally have gotten like a casting director saying, we'll get him next time. I'm like, look, you have a fan. This is a win. So
Total.
like do the audition.
Right.
Like if you know it's filming one day and you have your cousin's wedding and your cousin will never speak to you again. Okay. Don't miss the wedding. Like
Right.
don't be
Right.
please have a life.
Right.
But if it's something like that where you're just like, I'm not, I don't know. Well,
That
let
means-
them know the conflict. Like they'll usually say, please put your immovable conflicts in the submission notes. Do the thing. You're talking yourself out.
Right.
Yeah.
You're talking yourself out of it.
Totally.
And it makes them look like they're not flexible.
Yeah.
With
And
it.
like the more you decline, it's like that's gonna piss off your agent.
Right.
Like I work with an agent. Like, no, like, and I have an agent. That's gonna piss off your agent. It's like your agent's getting, like, if you have immovable conflicts, please tell your agent.
Right.
So they know
And
that
they
that's an
won't
immovable
put you-
conflict.
And they won't put you in for it.
Yeah, if it's like a 1-day shoot and it's on that day. But if it's like, don't talk yourself out of something. Oh, I read the breakdown and it doesn't feel exactly like me. I'm like, have you read breakdowns? It is a complicated, just roller coaster of a character that this person is both this way, but also that way. This, but also this. I'm like, yes, complicated like a human being, like you are.
Right.
So-
how one day you're mad, one day you're not.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, this person is tough, but also has a softer side, but also this, but also, aren't we all?
Right.
We're all human.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
how about just not get so tied to what breakdown services wrote in their writing department and or who the the casting director. And you got the audition for a reason
Right.
because they saw something in you that they thought could fit that character.
Right.
So like don't prove them wrong. Like don't get scared.
Right, I
Do
got
it
you.
anyway. Just do it scared. That's fine. I had to learn a long time ago like just you're not going to be scared sometimes, just do it scared.
Right,
And then the
right.
more you do it, the easier it is.
Right.
Like self-taping, like I'm from the old school of we had to go everywhere back in the day. And then they started slowly going through the self-tape. And they were doing that in the Southeast before the pandemic even.
Right.
So it's like you were really bad at it when you start. Like I still have my first tape. I'm like, that's awful. It's for a Lifetime movie. I'm like, I don't blame them. That's not, I mean, my acting was fine. I just was like, why did I enter and exit that way? What am I doing? Where's my eye line?
Right.
Where's the shadow? It looks like Peter Pan's right here. I'm just like, what am I doing? And just after a while, you get better at the thing that you
Right.
just embrace the suck.
Right,
It's
right,
like the
right.
military,
That's
yeah.
true.
Embrace the suck. You're gonna get better.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And so you can either get better on your own, or you can like sometimes I do this too when I feel like I have 8 pages and this is a supporting role in a film and I have this audition and I have sometimes with those I'll have like a decent number of days to get them in.
Mm-hmm.
I will go to another person and have them shoot me
Right.
because I'm like I don't want to worry about that. But it's like I can't do that all the time. Most of my auditions are shot at home because that adds up. That's money. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot.
Right.
So you just have to get good at just, the awkward like commercial auditions where you just have to do stuff like open your car trunk and take out the stuff and have a picnic. I'm like, what am I, Scorsese?
Well-
What am I supposed to do here?
Well, I'm gonna let you know if you ever need us to shoot anything.
Yeah.
Here it is, right here.
There you
Yes.
go. And it's a good setup. It's
Roger
really
that.
good.
Yeah, we
Thank
throw
you,
all
thank
these up. Yeah, I do
Yep.
these when I do the UGCs.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I need the mic and all that stuff up. So yeah,
Yeah.
So you said that you are a acting coach.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about when you got started? What made you get started?
A few years ago, somebody just asked me. I was on I was a consulting producer for a production company, and they said, "Well, we like to have people come on for about 20 minutes before we started production meetings and sort of give like a lesson or talk about something in the industry, and we'd like to have you talk. And I was like, just about like to a lot of the people who were attending this, there were a lot of people who are newer actors, and they were like, okay, can you tell people how to get into it? Tell a little bit about kind of the early process. And I feel like that was an opportunity to kind of, okay, let's go through all of the notes and all of the things that I've learned that I keep, and and it's just like lived in my Google Keep for years, and my process and all the things that I've learned, and cool, let's do this. And so I made like a 20-minute version of it. It was like a foundations for actors, and I was like, that was really cool to do that. And then a couple years ago, I started working as a booking assistant, so I help with casting.
Okay.
And so I started seeing that side of things, and then working directly with actors, who felt comfortable, because I was that in-between person.
Right.
So they felt comfortable talking to me and saying, well, this is the problem that I'm having. And I'm like, I understand the problem because I'm an actor.
Right.
So it was like, I know where you're at. So I was like, you know what? Somebody told me, it was like, it sounds like you should start charging people for this and stop doing it for free. And at some point I was like, you know what? Let's see if I can start teaching some classes, and then go, you know what? Let's start this. And so about 6 months ago, when I moved here, I was like, I basically asked my agent, I'm like, I knew that their office was closed on Fridays. And I'm like, can I use your office on Fridays and pay a little bit of money and to use your office on Fridays and do this? And they were like, yeah, sure. We're not in there. We trust you. And
That's awesome.
I use mostly the actors who are at the same agency as me because I know them, and I'm not trying to get on Dateline. That's not the way I want to be on there.
You hear that,
But
guys?
then be safety first. But like for online, I'll be people's readers for auditions. I'll do acting coaching online for anybody. Like I've gotten people from all over the world, and it's really interesting. Like when people are like, you have to have a reader.
Right.
You have to have somebody read for you. And please don't use AI. We can tell. It's so weird. We can tell. And y'all have a weird, and all the actors have a really weird pause in between because it's never a perfect setup. And I'm just like, you're using AI. It's just different when you have a person, even if it's a person on a screen. And I just started doing that. I just started going, okay, like, pay me for this platform. And, my husband has helped set up kind of the platform and it started kind of building. And then we have a financial coach that also knows a lot about like coaching. He was like, ever think about making this into like a whole coaching like business? And I was like, yeah, let's do it.
That's awesome.
So basically that's what I help with. I do one-on-one coaching. I prep people for auditions. Sometimes I'm just there just to give advice on people, on like directions and where they're kind of feeling. Sometimes I'm looking through people's marketing materials, and I'm just one opinion. Sure, there's lots of opinions, but I'm going to do the best I can, give you like my best efforts. And I really like connecting with actors and getting them out of their shell.
Right.
And that's really, a lot of it is like people get in their own way. People don't trust their own instincts. They don't trust that they're enough.
Right.
And they feel that horrible imposter syndrome. I think that a lot, can be very easy to slip into. And so just helping people kind of get out of their own way, and then also helping people with figuring out a process. And I'm good with, because I do have natural, I guess, anxiety or whatever, or natural kind of generalized anxiety disorder or something like that. Learning very young from my dad, who's a scientist, like if you don't learn how to be organized as an actor, you're going to be broke.
Right.
So I learned how to be scheduled yet still flexible, how to have like a good like actor schedule, how to kind of like, I have processes and lists for how I do everything. And that's how I control the uncontrollables. And I keep myself in a way that I'm just not like squirrel, all the time with everything. And it makes it so I can actually make a living. It's like, I feel like if I didn't have that, and I don't naturally have natural discipline, I'm an actor. I'm just like, all over the place. If I was left to my own devices, I would just write poetry and look out the window and practice music for funsies, and I would get my auditions done, sure, but that's, I would get nothing else in life done ever.
And you'll mess with your, don't you have chickens and stuff?
Oh yeah, I have a whole homestead. Like I have
So
stuff.
awesome.
Like I have animals that need fed, and I have adulting, and we all do, and we all have families and stuff like that.
Dang,
So it's
man.
like, how do you balance all of that? And I've just had to learn, like,
Right.
and I think a lot of actors come into it with they're really good with emotions.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good. A lot of them are just naturally good with emotions, or they naturally have effervescent personalities,
Mm-hmm.
or they have something about them that's interesting. Well, that's like your essence. That's your special, right?
Right.
But it's a technical job. You have to understand the camera. You have to understand lighting. You have to
Right.
understand framing.
Right.
You have to understand how something's going to come across depending on where you're framed and how you're framed, how close or how far you are. And a lot of people don't know that stuff. And even in some of the acting classes, like a lot of the acting classes are getting really good with actually filming you while you're in the class and actually teaching you a lot of that stuff. I think a lot of classes are also about like auditioning, which is important. It's a totally different skill.
Oh, yeah.
Totally. Yeah, it's way different.
But it's a different skill, and it's a skill that I'm constantly developing, redeveloping, and but it's not so different from your job when you get on set. It's still that it's just an extension. You just have a smaller space.
That's right.
Gotcha.
But they have to know that whatever it is that you're doing right there is going to translate to you being able to do
it on
it
camera,
later. But I think a lot of people get lost with the business of it.
I do. Yeah. I
They
do
think
that.
everything, and I hear this all the time, the frustrations of, well, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I'm like, look, like, do people like to reuse people? And like, yes, that's how I make a lot of my living, is because people are like, the production company will be like, hey, come back.
Right.
We want to use you.
Right.
Well, but I had to get on set to begin with.
Right.
And so, yes, some of my friends I do have friends who are, now we're all old enough to like produce our own stuff now.
Right.
So they'll bring me on their projects and stuff like that. And all my friends, like, I don't, they're amazing to work with. But it's like, at the end of the day, you also have to have the goods to back it up.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a friend that they're like, yeah, that's my friend, but I don't doesn't mean you want them to work with you. Like, that's my friend. They're great for a laugh. But if you want them to show up on set on time, maybe not. Like, we all know these.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to have that too. And I think people get really caught up in the uncontrollables that they try to like, well, if I just have the right person, like, discover me. And I'm like, oh, boo-boo, no. Like, that's not what you want to put your, like,
Some people
Yeah, your
get,
hopes
your hopes and
Yeah.
dreams on, like, the possibility of somebody, like, just seeing you. And I'm going to put you in my picture, lady. Like, that's not, no, it's a business. So
Right.
you can, you just be a good actor.
Right. And I'm telling you, one day somebody see it.
Stick around long enough.
Right. I'm
And
telling
something can happen.
Yeah.
Because
And
that's
then,
how they saw, what was his name? What is his name? Vin Diesel.
Uh-huh.
Because him and his friends at a young age made some film or whatever. And
short.
a short.
Yeah.
And that's how he got discovered.
he did a lot of that. He, like, if you look at his filmography, like, his first couple of projects, he, like, produced his own shorts.
Right.
Because he was like, well, if they're not going to hire me, I'm going to hire me.
That's exactly what we said.
Yeah, and we've done that too. Like when we were like, me and my friends and stuff, we've all produced a ton of shorts together because we were just like, we need better footage. Or it was like different times, like the pandemic and stuff wasn't filming as much.
Right.
Or we were like, a lot of us, like, we did Killing to Live because we wanted to get on Fear the Walking Dead. And we were like, and because I was filming in Savannah, and we are like, oh, our agent's going to be putting us in for this. And we were trying to get on Walking Dead in Atlanta. And we're like, I don't have any, like, appropriate footage for that particular thing. That's very niche.
Right,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
well, why don't we just
Create.
shoot it ourselves? And we did this short, and it's amazingly filmed because if you've ever worked with John Steele, he's an incredible local DP here. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And then I've got a friend, Dorian Dante, who's worked with him, and he's incredible. And we have so much talent here. I'm like, if don't ask permission, like, go out and film stuff, create your own thing, because if you sell it, then you get the money. You know what I mean? And it's such a different situation than when, people get constantly in this loop where they get really burnt out doing indie work, working for other people, especially indie work. It's one thing if something is like a student film and they aren't paying you, or if it's like a nonprofit or something like that. But if you're consistently like, I've done 12 projects this year that were all independent, zero pay movies, and I'm also traveling hours to go and do it. I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like,
Right.
what do you think this is going to do? You're going to
Right.
get trapped in that kind of thing. And I'm
Right.
like, get your footage and get out.
Right.
Go and get professional credits. Like,
Right.
why are you doing this? And people get burnt out by that. And I think a lot of people get out of the industry. They say something like 90% of people quit before the age of 30, like the ones that start earlier.
Right.
And then they quit because, and it's like anything else. It's like running your own business. I think they say like 85% of businesses like peter out within the first 3 years.
Right.
When you're an actor, you're a CEO. And it's not for everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Not everyone can be their own boss.
Yeah,
Not
they
everyone
can't.
can do that. So, for some people, it might be better as a hobby, and for other people, just keep going. Like, because
Right.
you don't know what's going to happen. You just know what's going to happen if you stop, and you have to love it enough for it to be too painful for you to stop.
Right.
And there's never been a moment in my career that people have been like, "Do you want to keep going?" Yeah, like.
Right.
Do you ever want to quit? Like, no, this is what I love doing.
Right.
And this is the thing I'm most skilled at too.
Right.
Like this is, I don't have a desire to do anything else. I never have.
Right.
So I'm just like, nope, not going anywhere. I'm just going to
Yeah.
stick around.
Right.
I like doing it.
Some people, they're like, they'll ask for advice. Have they done this to you? They ask for advice about how to get started.
Yes.
You give them that information, and they don't want to go through the process.
Nope.
They think that it's too hard.
Yep.
And then when they get on these independent films, they think they're a superstar. But some people really don't know you and so forth. And if you do some of the things you do on that set, they won't allow that on a regular
Right.
real production.
Yeah, you don't know. Sometimes if you don't know the crew is professional. I've worked on independent film sets where there have been like IATSE and Teamsters on there. And it was super, super professional. And projects that I've worked on that have like gone from non-union and turned SAG. And I've worked on, there's plenty of non-union stuff that gets from the stuff in Knoxville, that they're a professional set.
Right.
There's other professional sets that are non-union that are pro sets, but you don't know, especially if it's an independent one that isn't paying you, you don't know if you're learning the right stuff. You don't know if
Right.
you're learning
Right.
how a set's supposed to correctly function. You also might not be safe. If you get hurt on set, your insurance company is going to turn down your claim a lot of times
Right.
because it's a workplace accident.
Right.
So you don't know some of those things, some of those factors as well. But yeah, you're not your lead role in an indie film doesn't equate to a lead role in a SAG film.
No.
And it's not going to carry the same weight. It's better to, be really cautious about what films you're going to work on early on, and if you are going to trade your time for footage, basically make sure you get your footage, make
Right.
sure there's something in your contract that does that, and you get your footage, and then you move on to professional sets.
Right.
And then you start collecting those credits. And I get it all the time. We're like, well, I've done 20 films, and I'm like, half of them are short films.
Right.
So a short film is different than a feature length,
Right.
just in the amount of like how long you were with the character. and it's not like it's nothing.
Right.
It's not like, it could be great footage. If it's professional, it's professional credit. But if it's neither of those things, you have to understand that other people aren't going to value that time and energy the same way that you did. You still
Right, right,
produce
right,
that same time and energy. And I want to value you and your hard work, and let's get you paid
Right.
for that, because that's how you get burnt out, is when you feel exploited. And if you keep
Right.
going on to those sets and working for free all the time, and it's one thing if you're producing it, then you trust yourself as a boss. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like it's like I trust myself to give myself that footage when
Right.
I'm done. I know I'm going to get that footage. I'm producing it. I know I'm going to treat myself well on set and the other people. And like if you're working with your friends and you're shooting something, just do that. That way you're always feeling like creative, and you're always having footage, but you're not consistently working for free, especially when people are going out of town for that. I'm like, you're
Right.
paying to
Right.
be on somebody's set.
Right.
Where are you staying? Like, and that would burn anybody out. And
yeah.
it's not the same thing. I literally ended up getting a note from a casting director about a particular project, and it was a professional set. It's a union job. And it was like, we're in season whatever of this. Please don't put anybody in for this that doesn't already have a professional credit.
Right.
And when I talked to some of the actors I'm working with who want to get on the show about that, I was like, who has professional credits and who doesn't? they were like, what? Some of them were like, other people were like, yeah, we get it. And other people were like, well, what does that mean? Paid. Paid. Do you have credits that you got paid on that like, and there are like, as I said, there are some indie things that you shoot with your friends that your friends are so talented that you're going to look amazing in. Please use that for your footage.
Right.
That's wonderful. But they said what they said. You know what I mean? And not all projects do that. It was like, and I remember getting a message from somebody from somebody saying, well, is this all projects? I'm like, no, this was just this particular project.
Right.
But in general, yeah, the bigger the project, the more competitive.
Right.
And so they're going to look at your resume.
Right.
And now that people just collect IMDb credits, it's like, it's not about quantity, it's about quality.
Now, yeah. Yeah.
Because now anything can be an IMDb credit.
Anything.
Yeah.
And it used to be that the film, in order to have a page, had to either have a distribution deal attached to it, or it had to go into a film festival. And now it's like, if it exists, it's there. So it's like, it's part of the job. It's like part of like when I'm looking at people's like resumes, it's like looking at that and going, what is this stuff? And like me going in and like looking at the IMDb page, I'm like, is it playing somewhere? What is this? Or like, it looks like they've done 10 films. I'm like, half of these are short films. Like, just what are the standouts on here?
Right.
Versus that. But yeah, people have, it's understandable to a point. Like, you're like, man, I've done all this work. And it feels like busy doesn't mean productive.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it does
So,
not. It does not.
I have never in my life experienced a situation where I've done something for free that wasn't something that I produced. And it like, what if it blows up? I'm like, anything's possible. And once it blows up, then you can put that on your resume.
Right.
Then it's gone. Right now, it would just be my cute footage, and it might be good footage to use to get you a professional thing, but you can have to crawl before you can walk. People are like, what? But I mean, most people, I think, especially if it's a show that they recognize, they might talk that way, but as soon as they get that like one-liner audition, they'll be like, oh, I could be on this show, you know? And I was like, at the end of the day, you're on a big show. Now you have SAG eligibility.
Right.
You're getting some SAG pay.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, after you've done that 6 times, okay, then maybe you're going to be like, can I get more than 4 lines, please?
Right.
I think we all like hit that point, sure.
Right.
That's true.
That's fair. And that's like a big reason why I went out with friends and we produced a bunch of stuff together. We did a bunch of the 48-hour projects together and stuff like that, because it's like, I need more than just me walking this and saying this one thing to this one person and knocking into Brendan Gleeson over here and doing this over here and
I got you.
having 1 or 2 lines. I'm like, well, that does not a demo reel make.
Right.
You know?
Trust me. I get it. I do.
It's filler. It's great. I'm happy to have the credits, but it doesn't show much more than me being able to do more than that.
Right.
So then that's where it's like, you have to balance this idea of, you know, you have to have the training. You have to like cut your teeth sometimes on these small
Projects,
co-star things and these small just co-star stuff before like a project that's a big project will consider you for guest stars. There's some projects out there that if you look at on breakdowns, or the agents will let me know, you know, or I'll be known like about this project. Well, for guest star, this project requires you to have a previous guest star credit or multiple co-star credits.
Right.
So then I know like what production is not going to be okay with,
Right.
you know? And it's just like, well, they want people who have proven time on the caliber of set that they're at, where they're at. And they want actors who are going to be able to produce that they can trust.
Right. I get it. I do.
Yeah.
I do get it.
Has there ever been a time when you wanted to quit?
No.
Okay.
I
that's
love it
cool,
too much.
that's cool.
I couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
I'm ruined for other jobs. The last regular job I had, I was talking to Chris about this, was at a call center.
Yeah.
And I worked at it for like a little over a year, and it was awful. And it was and I was working at a improv dinner theater company at the time. And I had an agent. So it was like, and I started booking. I used to have Sundays and Mondays off. That was my weekend. And I started booking all of these under 5 line roles. And I'd already had like a 2-episode stint on The Inspectors.
Okay.
So it also feels really like it hits your pride to go, I was on the inspectors and now I'm at a call center. But it's like you
Right.
got to pay your bills, like,
right.
and you have to figure out how to pay your bills in the industry. There's been times where I've been incredibly disappointed because I psyched myself up for like, this is it, this is the thing that changes everything. This is my big break. I'm like, and I've learned like, you don't know. And I've told actors like, please don't do that to yourself, because I have like done that so many times and been like, oh, never mind, that wasn't it. And the thing about it is, it was like when the people who are winning Oscars tell you that, and that's where people get it. And I was like, they only know that because it's in the rear view.
Right.
They didn't know it when it was there.
Right.
They knew it after.
Right.
They didn't know.
Right.
And so it's like, and so I was like working at a call center completely unhappy, but then I still had these opportunities and I started booking, and God gave me these opportunities like, look, on your day off, look what I can give you.
Right.
And I started booking other things. Like, one day on this one set, I got to do, Mr. Mercedes. I got to do Righteous Gemstones. I got to do these like one day things. I started shooting more commercial work, which we always poo poo when we're like, no, I'm an artist and I just want to do. And then you like, oh, like I want to pay my bills and I love being on set. And it turns out it's still the same feeling. It's still the same job.
Yeah.
And so I started booking more commercial work, and I'm like, well, this is better.
Right.
Like
I love commercial work.
I was like, this is great. I'd much rather do this than be in a call center. So when I got a job, like when I was working with the at the dinner theater, about 6 months later, I was doing these shows. It was like, that was keeping me sane, like actually still being kind of in it. And then I was offered an opportunity to leave that job and like work as a production assistant for the show. And I'm like, bye. And I swore, I was like, I will never do another like non-industry job. Like, I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm going to make this work no matter what. And I have. And so it just made me like, I just made that promise to myself that I'm like, I'm going to make it work, and my family will not starve. Like, we're going to just make it work. And so like, so that's what helped me like come up with these ideas of like diversifying your income as an actor, and looking into things that maybe you poo-pooed when you were in acting school or something. Like, I'm not going to do commercial work maybe, or if it is, I need to be an artist, or and stuff like that. I'm like, it's a job too. It's a job.
Right.
And I still enjoy it. I still love it no matter what. I treat every single job as if like it's an Oscar winning whatever. Because you never know who you're working with. You know how many Oscar winners and big directors shoot commercials?
All the time.
So many. I've worked with some of them.
Yeah.
that like people who run like television shows, and they're like in the commercial that you're in. You're like, and they're shooting it, and I've done, and like, oh, well, they got a family, and they got bills to pay too.
Right.
You got to do what you got to do. So yeah, I know how miserable I was at that place. And I'm like, this is not, my whole body knows I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be doing this. And it's so easy to just go, well, I'm just going to do this easy thing and work for somebody else and know that I'm going to get a check. And it's harder to step out on faith and just be like, I don't know what's going to happen here. But I'm just going to tell myself I'm going to make this work, and then just make that commitment to yourself. I'm going to make this work. And then want to and be willing to make the sacrifices to do that, whether it's not going on vacations, whether it's living more frugally, whether it's living below your means in a way that your friends are going to make fun of you for, because you still live like you're in college. But it opens it, you start to realize like what is really important at the end of the day. Right. It's your family, it's your faith. It's the thing that you do for a living, because we spend so many hours doing it. We spend 40 hours a week. You can spend 40 hours a week doing something you hate.
Right.
Maybe die early.
Right.
You can spend 40 hours a week
Right.
doing something you love. And it's like, I can die on a film set. I'd be so happy.
Yeah, I would too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, people are like, are you going to retire? I'm like, I'm not end up dying on a film set. I'm not
Right.
retire.
I remember that was for me when I was working at the government. I retired military of 20 years, and then I worked 6 years for the government. And then after a while, I was like, this is not what I want to do. I don't want to be here. And we both agreed that same year that, hey, we're going to quit our jobs and do this full time. Yeah, and we love it. Love every aspects, the ups, the downs, all
Yep.
of it that comes. Love being on set, in front of the camera, and behind the camera. I wouldn't do it any other way.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's a privilege, but like it's you're your boss,
Right.
and if something is wrong, you're the only person who can fix it.
Right.
You're the
I can only
CEO.
scream at me.
And I just was like, this is a lot easier, you know,
Yeah.
in some respects to that. But yeah, it's not for everyone.
No, it's not.
You know.
It's not for everyone because a lot of people will think, oh, this is going to be easy. Some people be like, I can't do this at all.
Yeah.
Be like, what happened to so-and-so? They were doing so good. Then they disappear. You're like, oh, okay.
It happens. I'll run into people who will. I think you also have to pace yourself again with this burnout thing of just like knowing what's actually productive versus what's busy, and what's going to help move the needle for you versus like I'm going to do my 20th non-union independent film that's got no pay and I have to travel 45 minutes. You know, and 45 minutes is not bad, but that's just traffic here. But
Right.
But you know, if you're traveling 2, 3, 4 hours, like, oh, I'm going to, you know, I've seen people like, I'm going to go to New York for this independent film, and I'm like, are they paying you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, like let's look at the project. You know, you have to balance
Yeah.
that, you
I
know, a
believe
little
that.
bit.
I totally
You-
believe that.
And you still have to be a person at the end of the day,
Yeah,
and you
right.
still have to
That's
take
true.
care of yourself, and you have to pay your bills, and you have to be with your family because at the end of the day, you know, the person that you acted with on such and such film or whatever, unless you have a really great relationship with them, they're not going to be the person at your deathbed. It's your family.
Yeah.
It's your best friends. It's the people that have been there before you were anything.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. So it's like you have to cultivate a life that you don't want to take a vacation from, not just a
Right.
career.
I got you.
Yeah, that's
what's up.
true.
Yeah.
So, for family, do you have any kids?
I don't.
Okay.
I have dogs. I have 3 dogs, and I have chickens,
Okay.
and I have a cat now.
Okay.
She's a barn cat. She's feral. She lets us live. She takes care of the mice in the barn, and she was a feral cat. She's one of those like barn cat
Right.
places where it's like this cat is no good around children,
Right.
but who can use this cat? This cat still needs a home. And we're like, and yeah, we don't like mice in our barn, so we're like, she's living her best life now. But yeah, like we have a whole homestead situation that it's a whole ecosystem of gardening and growing your own stuff and
That's awesome.
figuring out how to live more sustainably and to live a little bit less reliantly on other people.
That's awesome.
You know, so it's, you know, we know where our produce comes from. We know what's in it.
I
And
would love to. That's what I would love to do.
yeah. And Sean's grandfather, who owned the property, just built so much beautiful infrastructure for us, and we feel very blessed to have it. And it's just very much definitely like you know, we're stewards of the thing that God gives us, you know.
Right.
You know, this is not ours, we're stewards of it, you know. And so it's like it's part of really like a big calling for me is to be a steward of everything, and having this homestead, it's a big responsibility.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Because yeah, you mean you don't do it, you don't grow it, you kill
Right.
it, you don't eat it.
Right. You know, yeah. You
And you've
die.
done all of
Yeah.
that, and so it teaches you a lot of perseverance through
That's awesome.
a lot of trials and
Right.
failures, and then it keeps you grounded to something other than. Also keeps me outside. I think that's good for me.
Right,
Otherwise,
right.
I'd be way too much of an indoor cat, and I'm never happy like that.
And I see your videos with your animals and stuff like that. I think that's so cool. Our daughter-in-law, she's like that. She wants a house. She has a house, and she's gonna have chickens and all
Yeah,
this
she
different
wants all that.
things. Yeah, she's already planned it out
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything. And the kids like the outdoors and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, we've got 9 nieces and nephews, and every time, and like now everybody's close, which is so nice. And so when they come over, that's the thing that I was like, do you want to feed the chickens? And they're like, yes. And like, we're going to get rabbits at some point. We're going to we have all of these, you know, we have all these plans. And
That's
it's,
awesome.
yeah. And Sean loves it too. It's the thing that when he's like not on duty with the military, like he will voluntarily be outside, like working on stuff, like building things, and and he loves it. And it's just that it gives him a lot of energy too. So
That
awesome.
is so cool.
That is so awesome.
Well, we're coming down to the end of our time and so forth. Can you tell the viewers out here to the camera something very positive to keep them going or motivate or a motivational saying?
sure. I mean, I'm gonna get back to one that I already said. It's like I think a lot of life is figuring out your purpose and figuring out your relationship with God, and and at that point, your job is just a steward for everything that you have. Like everything that you're given is a gift, and just to take that for what it is and to build a life that you don't want to take a vacation from, to build a life that truly brings you joy, where you can use the gifts that God has given you to make somebody else's life better, to feed your family, to feed your own soul, and then to give to other people.
Amen.
Ah, I love that. That is
beautiful.
great. Do you have any handles that you can give people, like social media, where they can find you at, and also
Especially for your training.
your acting coach?
Yeah. I'm very active on Instagram. So if you go to at Michele Nichols Official, that's my Instagram
Heard that.
handle. And then on there is I have a link tree. So
Okay.
Instagram will let you put like a link on there, and I have 2 links. I have one for like a Google form that people will fill out if they're wanting to do some kind of training with me or to hire me for certain things. There's that. And then my link tree right at the top is my acting coaching and self-tape services.
Okay.
And then I also write scenes for people. So people have scenes that's not from their favorite movie or something. That's a scene that can be bespoke and perfect for them. And I write scenes for people so they have stuff to work on for classes or to self-tape
awesome.
with or to shoot with or whatever it is. Yeah, so they can check out the my link tree there and fill it out, and you can be anywhere in the world and I can hop on the screen and help you, whether it's coaching or it's prepping for an audition or it's you just need a reader. That's, I'm here for you. So
That is awesome. Did y'all hear that? We have Michele Nichols.
She came
here.
and did her thing today, guys.
Yes,
I'm
she
telling you.
did. She is an amazing person inside and out. Working with her has been a pleasure.
Yes, it has.
And if you get to get her training or any other services she offers, I would take it because she's really good at what she does.
She is. She is. Guys, we love you. We thank you guys for coming out.
Thank
being
you.
here for Lights, Camera, Action. Let's talk on this beautiful weekend. Michele in the house, in the building. We love
Yes.
you. Have a great weekend. We out.